When I see that you are both straight and ready, I will start you
So
like
intermediate
this.
men's quad sculls. This is the Prince of Wales Challenge Cup. We've got Leander Club, who know this stretch of water so well, on the Berkshire Station, and on the Buck Station, London Rowing Club. Massive moment in their summer, in their rowing careers. Who's going to get to the coveted Henley Royal Regatta final tomorrow? We'll find out in the next 6.5 minutes as they head off down the water. London Rowing Club to the right of your picture, both trying to get as much speed into those boats as possible, as quickly as possible, and both have made a really good fist of that. Exactly, Mark, as you said, you were lining them up on the edge of that shadow off Temple Island. That's where they've hit, but now they're just starting to head out.
Yeah, and as you come out of that kind of cover from the island, that's when the wind will start to push them across potentially.
In fact, it's the Berkshire Station boat that the umpire's getting interested in, Leander Club. They don't really have any excuses because they must have done this as a set piece so many times.
Yeah, and what's interesting, because obviously for the regatta, the circulation of the river changes. So normally Leander would have done their piece on the other side of the river, but for the regatta they race on this side. Yeah, so it does change the circulation, but they know this stretch well. The markers, Leander have pretty much dominated this event in the last 10 years. So, we have a steep history in it, if you want to call it that. And this particular crew was very fast yesterday out to the barrier. So it'd be interesting to see how the London crew kind of tries to stay in contact.
With the idea that all boats need to stay on the right of the water, so they're training on the other side of the water. Yeah. Is there ever a temptation to get out early in the morning and sneak a trip on the wrong side?
You'd be in trouble if you get caught. No, because of circulation, you don't want to put others at risk and that sort of thing. But you've got plenty of time with the course being in place with the regatta. So, they've done this kind of stretch many times in training, just going through those calls, where the markers are, where they want to move, where they want to do the pushes, where the holes in the course are. So yeah, just various points that have understood exactly where they're going to be at every single point.
Rule follow-up Mark Hunter, squeaky clean, is with us this morning as Leander Club Prince of Wales Challenge Cup stretch out. This has been a very good last few hundred metres, an early move from them, and we're just watching London Rowing Club floundering a little bit, finding the conditions very challenging. I'm keeping an eye on those flags on the Berkshire bank there in the enclosures, and that is a good clue as to what the conditions are the rowers are facing here.
And it's so windy. This is when you've really got to stay relaxed in your shoulders and your arms and just collect the water, not be too aggressive on the front, because you don't want to start getting tight forearms.
Another bit of wandering from Leander out towards the middle, the umpire keeping a close eye on it, no doubt. They're quite a long way from their side of the water there, aren't they?
Leander. Yeah, they've moved out. They're maximising their side of the river, I think, here. So they've got that cushion. They've kind of put the work in early.
So on the boat to the right of your picture here, Leander in the bow seat. It's Keating, John or Jack, his surname. He goes under either forename, and that's Keating. You can see to the right of your picture in the bow seat, Costley, Ellery, and it's Rory Harris in the stroke seat. Junior World Under-23 European bronze medalist in 2021, Rory Harris. So up and coming. Ellery, I mentioned, is rowing coach at Windsor Boys in his spare time. Not that he gets a lot of that, I'm sure, but he'll be looking in all directions today because Windsor Boys are out on the water.
Yeah, they're looking dominant in the Fuldy Challenge Cup again, so it'll be interesting to see if they can maintain that great history and the records they've got in that particular event.
So this Leander boat you can see now, looking very proficient.
Yeah, and I think in semi-finals racing it's about doing the job, trying to get it done as early as possible. They've really kind of done that in the first part of the course. It's about being clean, efficient now. No mistakes, no errors. Because, it is challenging out there, as we keep mentioning with the wind today.
So the Prince of Wales Challenge Cup. This is race number 11 today. And they're moving well, Leander. They'll certainly wanting to stack as many boats into the finals tomorrow as possible. They'll get lots of home support as they head in front of the pre-eminent Club, and they're looking towards the regatta enclosure. And they're moving very well. London Rowing Club with an awful lot to do. Just need to try and apply as much pressure as they can. You never know, do you? We saw some extraordinary things go on yesterday, completely out of the blue, and if you can apply enough pressure, you might be able to turn things around. Something could go wrong in that boat. You never know.
Exactly. You never give up, because you never know what can happen. As you said, because it's windy, there's gusts of wind out there, especially today. All it takes is one launch going past, a bit of rock, a bit of gust, blade gets caught, a race can turn on its head instantly. So it's about, you know, making sure that you keep chasing, you keep putting them under pressure. But then for Leander to make sure they keep staying clean, efficient.
Keating, you can see there in the bow seat, won this event last year, the winner of the Prince of Wales Challenge Cup in 2021, the former Irish national team junior. So he's got experience in this particular event, and he's going to be doing a second final in 2 years now, if they can keep it together in front of the regatta enclosure and the stewards enclosure. The Prince of Wales Challenge Cup semi-final looks like it could be going in his direction. Now we watch the London boat. You've got Greg Maxwell there, that's his back in the bow seat, and the bright yellow sunglasses. 28 years old, what an experience. Shane Willis, and we've got Rue Zhu in the 3 seat and Matt Curtis. They've got a feisty coach who was very keen to point out it's Rue Zhu in the 3rd seat this morning. Bit of a character, I understand, their coach.
Yeah, it's important we get things right, so we get names right. So yeah, we'll always try and do our best, but if we do get it wrong,
we like to be told exactly how. And Rue Zhu and his boat have got work to do here. There's the Leander boat heading towards the line, and they're getting, predictably, a big cheer from the home crowd.
Yeah, in complete control in this particular race. You know, did the work early on, set the stall out, made sure they had enough buffer between them and London if anything did go wrong, but been very efficient there. You get to enjoy the cheers and claps as they come through the enclosures.
So Leander Club able to ease to the line, stylish, and they'll be delighted to be going back to the final of the Prince of Wales Challenge Cup. They won it last year, and based on that performance, good opportunity tomorrow to repeat the trick. Here come the London Rowing Club. They bow out at the semi-final stage.
And that's 2 quads races we've seen, a very similar format. You know, this kind of side-by-side racing, get out in front early, put the other crew under pressure, and then just keep moving out when you've got that really good, strong bulk mid-race pace. So important in today's conditions, and that was another masterpiece there from Leander.